Alright, Mike's gonna be here in a second, but we will get going, and I will turn my light on so y'all can see me. Oh, there we go. That is really damn bright, I'll tell you what. Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Where's your head at? Okay, so I believe the way it sounded like Mike wanted to go, he and I were talking about it earlier today. We're going to do some nether exploring. So we are going to need, we've got 9 diamond right now. So we need obviously more diamond for sure. And then we're going to need food. Got food. Saplings and seeds. Here comes Mike. I wish I had a hotkey to accept Discord calls. Hey. We are live and in living color. Yeah, it's just like a constant snow. It's not very much, but I mean, it's lake effect. It's not like we're getting hammered or anything like that. Let's see. Yeah, so it's just, well, I didn't switch anything out. I can make it a demon look. That's easy. Just one of those. And I turn this one off. And then I turn my overheads. Well, I can leave my overheads on, but now I look like a demon. I was talking to the stream earlier when we got started. You and I talked about what we were kind of planning on doing, and we're gonna do more. We're gonna do nether stuff today, so. Right now, I'm making. Let's see, do we have? Yeah, we have granite there. I'm making more storage stuff because we have all kinds of stuff that we need to get rid of and store. That. Oh, we've got 37 iron ore. That's just chilling downstairs. Yeah, I killed you. At the end of the stream, I stabbed a diamond sword in your back. I don't know. No, it's in different chests and stuff. Your armor's upstairs in the lower chest. I know that for sure. No, that shit's easy. You just run to IKEA and do whatever you want. I mean, like, there's nothing on the top. It's just all ore stuff. Um, like, obviously IKEA is kind of a joke, but oh, you trafficking kids now? You gotta be careful there. They get too old, then they're sentient and they can say no. Mm, I don't know. To some people, they might be worth more. I mean, I was hoping it was a joke, but then there were too many, like, because there were too many, like, more often than not, you started looking into it and you're like, yeah, why is this couch $10,000 when everything else is like $500? And you're like, oh, hey, you want to see something funny? No, but what is funny might kill you. I'm upstairs. I'm outside. Well, you'll probably want a pretty empty inventory because if we're gonna do nether stuff, look at the boat. Yeah, I'm just going up to the farm here and getting. Um, well, yeah, dude, look how many carrots we have. Um, yeah, I have 19 baked potatoes. Um, I don't have anything for a crafting table. I have 3 lava buckets for some reason. Probably don't need an axe in there. I'll take the stone sword for you. Don't need the map because it won't work. Yeah, because we need to get we're gonna find a fortress ideally, and yeah, we're gonna need something to move around with, and we got to get rid of these boars that are by the portal. So I have a gravel block for some reason. Well, I think these mushroom things that we're on, I think they're supported by wood, so we can tear that down if we need wood. Ouch. No, I mean the place is lit up by lava, so we're fine there. Well, I got rid of the boars that were underneath us, so we should be fine. I'm gonna put my diamond sword away so I don't accidentally swap to it. Let's see. So since the last time we were on, uh, Kansas City forgot how to play football. Oh, we may have just messed up if these are pigmen. If those were zombie pigmen, because I don't think they were. But, yeah, they come after you. Hey, just a heads up, don't look up. Let's see if we can entice them to fall. Come on, you idiot. You know you want to. I know you want it. 'Cause you're a good girl. Just... It's a ghast. It's not a huge deal right now. Crimson planks is... These are like crimson something or others. I am gonna see if I can't... Yep, somebody found their way down. He was trying to. He just got, like, stuck on logic or something like that. Come on, you idiot. Does it not turn him to obsidian? You know what we should do? I'm gonna make a crafting table and then ladders to get up to the portal again. Just remember, we're looking out for well, the fortress looks like wood planks, so that's pretty easy. I mean, they're normally, like, from what I remember, they're pretty much... Well, no, I was going to say they're pretty much, like, lava up. Like, they, you know, they build themselves up, so... So yeah, Kansas City forgot how to play football, and this Sunday is the Great American Race. I actually liked it. There's your screamer guy. I mean, I guess right, like he's not like Beyonce or Bruno Mars, but I'd much rather watch a weekend show than I would another. No, it wasn't. I mean, the audio mix was bad, but well, also imagine trying to mix everything that they were doing. Hmm. Oh, the people in the masks. No, that's been his character for this album. Yeah, yeah, his character is a guy that survived a drunk driving accident. So that's been his whole thing for this album. Yeah, I see that. I'm more worried about the magma cube that's trying to molest me right now than anything else. Well, it looks like what happened is the ghast is stuck in the ceiling. Here, I'll keep him occupied if you want to take swings at him. Direct hit. Don't. I'm trying to remember what it is now, because like there's ones that you don't want to. Uh-oh. Well, no, there's like I forget if the pigmen get mad at you if you take the gold, but if you have the gold in your hand, like the guys that attacked us earlier, you're fine with or something. Like there's some weird meta now for the. Alright, there's a pigment over there, and I'm taking this gold, so just give me a heads up if something happens. Also, I think these are fragments? No, they're gold nuggets. Well, I couldn't remember. There was some. Like, they changed some of the weirdness, as I say, about the nether with the nether update. There, just take that gold nug that I dropped, and I think just hold it in your hand when those other guys are around, and you should be fine, if I remember right. I think the pigmen don't like it if you have it, but those guys are fine with it. There's some weird, like... Yeah, I see. There's some weird... there's strategy now in the nether that you need. Well, as long as we don't... Where did you go? Oh, there you are. As long as we don't... We're on easy, so you will go out eventually. Yeah, as long as we don't really hit the pigment, we're fine. We got a bunch of gas, so I'll tell you what. Alright, I'm gonna head to the right. See if there's an Enderman down here. I didn't realize they spawned in another. Maybe that's one of the things that they changed. Start shooting at me now, idiot. I'm above you. Yeah, it was a pretty easy path. So it's not like we're in severe danger. The best part though is in this game when you can get the mobs fighting each other. Magma cube. Watch out because they hurt on contact. I just sent a fire charge flying into the middle of nowhere. The key to control is a good foreign policy. Probably the 50s. I mean, in terms of like functional at least though, and for the time, like it wasn't terrible. I think it has more to do with the people that were in the game at the time, the players, not necessarily the game. Because you have to realize some of the players at that point were so volatile that. Well, McCarthy's the whole reason that the Cold War really became a thing. That was McCarthy in the Red Scare. I'll tell you what, though, if McCarthy hadn't been in power, the world would look a whole lot different now, and probably for the better. Mm, I mean, Eisenhower definitely mattered. McCarthy wasn't a general at the time. In World War II, no, he became a general afterwards. He was under Eisenhower. No, that was Patton. Patton started in Africa. Patton and his armored division started in Africa. Let's see. Then I am a lonely traveler at this point, looking for a damn fortress. At this point, I'll settle for a dam. Damn, son, where'd you find that? I have no idea where you are at this point. I guess that's good. But no, if McCarthy hadn't decided to go on his Red Scare run, it yes and no. Like it wavered because of who was in power. Yes, Stalin did. Yes, but the problem with no, there was one before Gorbachev. No, so Gorbachev wanted peace, but he also came. He was directly after a um one that was like down with the West, like kill the West. But the one before that was warming to the West. So I mean, it would have been a lot quicker. Like it would have been a lot quicker if we hadn't decided to go on a 20-year holiday in Southeast Asia. I mean, because think about it, right? Like North Korea wouldn't be an issue whatsoever because the South. I mean, the South would have reached, parity with what Japan was doing. I mean, but what I'm saying is like the style of the South would have succeeded, right? Like the South would have quickly allied with Japan as a neutral ally in the area, and then the North would have just been kind of stuck to, you know, do its thing. And no, they were being backed by the Russians, but I mean, China was backed by the Russians. Like, let's be real. I mean, the thing of it is, like, what? Like, North Korea would have fallen in 20 years. Like, it's very clear that none of those Soviet style countries would have lasted. So, I mean, we would have been. Sure, South Korea would have been like 30 years behind, but we also would have had one Korea and probably, it would probably be similar to like how India is today, where it's rapidly expanding. Like India, I mean, realistically, as a world player, has only been a thing for the past like 10 years. No, they've been a player for like the past 10 years. Who? No, the only reason he wanted to build a relationship with India was because India is the new China in the sense that, well, he wanted to get in so he could get cheap labor deals. That's the only reason. So, mm, I mean, as an independent country, yes. I mean, the U.S. was always going to be an adversary to China because China made the Soviet system work because they gave them no other choice. Like the prop, yeah. Oh, I'm in a new biome. I'm in a like ashen biome. Um, I mean, because like think about it, right? That who was surrounding China, right? Like it was the Soviets, it was Japan to their east, and it was yeah. But son of a bitch, son of goddamn, what the dude? This is a Catholic household. Holy cow. Um, but like the Soviets would have fallen anyway because they were, I mean, they bordered Western Europe, right? Like it would have fallen eventually because I, I mean, it. I mean, you want the serious question of when the Soviet Union would have fallen? Probably the 80s. Probably 10 years before it did. No, there's no way. No, what I'm saying is like if it was left to its own devices, like the only reason it stuck around for so long is because it had the power of defeating the West. Like if we treated it as a just a regular old country, it would have, you know, it would have wanted trade deals. It would have wanted things that you could have easily forced it into democracy. I mean, yeah, it would have still been hostile for a while, but those talks would have been much quicker. Well, the problem is, right, like China, I mean, think about it, right? Like who is really going to bat against China? It's just the states. Like Europe's not really doing anything about it. Whereas I mean, Europe's getting forced into it. I mean, the thing of it is too, like if we hadn't dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, uh, the Soviets wouldn't have been anywhere near a problem. Because if, well, no, because think about it, right? Like, what pushed the Soviet military? It wanted to be able to beat the U.S. Well, I don't care. I'm nowhere near you. Um, so if they didn't know that we had a nuclear weapon, you know, like, because think about it, right? Everybody was probably 10 years behind at that point, realistically. I mean, there's Soviet reports that say they thought the U.S. was still 3 years away. Like, they knew we were developing something. I would argue we cared, in a way, we cared more because, like, the American people cared more. Like, well, yeah, I mean, the, well, also, Stalin was such a unique personality. Like, well, think about it, right? Like, we had two of the most maniacal minds in the history of the world as one time allies and then enemies. Like, that has never happened before. I don't think it's ever happened at all. Like, I mean, okay, maybe you can argue some of the Greco-Roman stuff, but there was nobody. I mean, there was nobody as kind of. Um, I don't even know the proper term for Napoleon. Yeah, I mean, there's you could use a lot of people as an adjective. Like you could use, yeah. Well, also like the Napoleonic complex is like that is such a blown out of proportion thing. It's such a British invention because the dude was like 5'8", 5'9". He wasn't short. Yeah, he was honestly taller than most Brits at the time. So I mean, there's a couple different versions of flipping people off. Yeah. 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 Well, that was more of a uh, what's what's Japan considered? Um, there's like that term for I can't think of it right now, where you're like feudalist. That's the word I was looking for. Like cutting people's fingers off, like that was a very feudalist thing. Which is funny that people think of Japan as being like the purveyor of feudalism. It wasn't. I mean, that policy started in Europe. In fact, Western Europe, or what we consider to be Western Europe now. Well, but no, when feudalism was a thing, I don't think you would have considered it like Western Europe because it was along the Austro-Hungarian uh, borders. Well, yeah, we would consider it Western Europe now, but it wasn't like it was just yeah because they I mean they were tribes at that point. I would say even before Cold War, like yeah, I mean 100 years ago they wouldn't have called it Western and Eastern Europe. They would have probably called it the Germanic families. No, the like who was part of the Germanic families, like what countries were run by members of the Germanic family. Much like your England is run by a member today. Oh shit. Um, so no, I would say more of like because the Holy Roman Empire kind of changed a couple different times of who was considered to be part of it and what the Holy Roman Empire considered to be part of it. I mean, it would have been called the Italian region. Like that's what a lot of people like. The Germanics weren't city states; they were more of tribal based. But yeah, I mean, I guess yes. If you wanted to simplify the Germanic region, you could say they were city states, but that's such an oversimplification for what happened. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's still. I mean, I think if you. At the time? No, they would have said what house they were from. Um, much more. As I say, it's much more tribal based there than it was. Like, it wasn't necessarily location based. Oh, and I have the diamond. There's 9 diamond in the chest at the house. If you want to make a diamond sword. Dude, we've got iron for days. You can probably waste a set at this point. But yeah, I mean, like, still to this day, right? Like, Italy is very much a city state country. I mean, the Sicilian region is a thing. I mean, that'd be like you saying you're Midwestern. You would say you're from the Midwest, though. Well, yeah, you would. Yeah, I guess in that sense, yes. But yeah, well, yeah, yeah, it's a different thinking, right? It's the thinking of you're more tied to your where your family is from. Like the but the diaspora in the US has been so yeah, but the diaspora in the US has been so severe that you can't really think of it as where your family's from because I think you can. Yeah. I think you can think that, but also you're American. You're not from. Well, also you have to remember this country's 250 years old. It's not. Well, also like think about think about historical Europe, right? Like pre late 19th century. You it was not easy to you know most of Europe is mountains. Like let's be real. So you were stuck to the valley that you were born in. So you developed, yeah, but you developed this. I mean, like it doesn't matter how big the country is. Like, let's be real. It's the size of Montana. No, it's considerably smaller than Texas. Yeah. Let's put it this way: crossing Montana takes about 9 hours. Crossing Texas takes about 13. So, but I mean, and also those mountains are super steep because they're young mountains. Like the Alps are very young. The Rockies are very young. The Himalayas are very young. It's why they're so steep and why they're so tall. Like you look at ancient mountain ranges like the Appalachian Range, like they don't seem like mountains today, but you know, the think about it this way, right? The Appalachians are older than bones. They are older than organic life on this earth. Like that's how old the Appalachians are. Parts of it. I mean, you could live by Ohio as well. Like it's yeah, it borders Kentucky and Ohio. Um, yeah, I mean it's a beautiful state. Kentucky. Mm, there's better. Tennessee is amazing to drive through. I would take Tennessee over Kentucky any day of the week. I would take driving through the UP in Michigan over just about anything. No, but you get along the Superior shoreline. It's one of the most beautiful drives in the world. I mean, you know, you've got a lake that's the size of seas. I mean, it's kind of a joke in Michigan, right? About we don't have lakes, we have seas. Because if you look at how big the Great Lakes are, they would be considered seas in most places if they were saltine. But since they're fresh, they're considered lakes, and they are way. I mean, right? Most people think about a lake, you can see across a lake. Mm-mm. You can't see across Superior. You can't see across Huron. You can't even see across Erie, and Erie's the narrowest. Like these aren't lakes. Like you know, you were mentioning how people would in Europe identify where they were from before calling themselves German or Italian. That's very much, at least here in the States, the First Nations, right? Like the tribes that were here because they ran into the same issue, right? They didn't have they could travel by horse, but it was tough to cross from the East Coast inland because the Appalachians were there and they're huge. They're just like the range basically runs from Hudson Bay to Georgia. Like it's massive. Yeah, like if you wanted to go down the Mississippi, it was months. It wasn't a couple days. I mean, now you'd be looking at a couple days, right, to cross it, but or to go down it, but yeah. Well, and think about it, right? Minnesota, New Orleans, you don't even leave. Like, you don't leave the U.S. and B, you don't leave. You go through what, like 5 states, 6 states. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's 10% of the country. Not even. Yeah, it's not even 10% of the country realistically. I'm at a fortress. I found one. Not. Well, let me see roughly where I am. I'm in like an ashen biome. How funny would it be if we're like, we went the one way and this is just the opposite direction? But yeah, I mean, like, if you, it's kind of tough to read history of the First Nations because they were oral traditions, right? They weren't. Well, certain cultures are much more accurate. Like, uh, for instance, the Bavarian region in Germany, right? So the northeastern section of Germany. Um, they were one of the first that had written languages in the area. So a lot of their stuff was written down. So a lot of their history is correct and very, very detailed. Whereas, you know, yeah. Alright, well, I'm by a bunch of skeletons. I killed most of them. Um, I found a bunch of magma blocks as well. I don't know how many I've got on me right now, but I had to mine through a bunch of them. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, there's a reason there are pushes to, especially from the young generations of these First Nations, to get their elders recorded and get it, transcribed and all that stuff. So, it would be very disgraceful if those cultures, I mean, they're already getting like what Europe did to those cultures is just disgusting. But, you know, they also need to help themselves too, right? Like, this isn't a situation where you can just be like, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, like they were forced, and especially in the States, like it was very bad. But yeah, I mean, there has been time for them to develop uh, proper record keeping and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah. So are you gonna watch Daytona? I don't even know what time it's on. I think it's 3 o'clock. I think it's either 12:30 or 3 o'clock. No, that was a couple of weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago. This is the 500. It's like 3.5 hours normally. It goes by fast. Like, um, I mean, it's Daytona week in iRacing as well, and um, 70 laps takes about an hour and 15, and we're kind of hamstrung by the talent. Like, we're not professional race car drivers, so At least most of us aren't. I'm nowhere near professional. I mean, yes, I'm in A class, but I'm not. Okay, the gold nugget does not work with the guys. I pulled one out and they just kept hitting me. You know, so the problem that you have a lot of times in iRacing is people that they just don't have the confidence necessarily. Okay, I think I'm close because I'm in the mushrooms. I don't know where in the mushrooms, but so yeah, you know, we have times where half the race is spent under caution because people make mistakes and you know crash out and things like that, and so there's issues there. But in fact, starting in half an hour, the NASCAR iRacing series is doing the full 200 laps, 500 miles. And I definitely was not about to do that. I mean, I've done 200 lap races. It's not an issue. It's just, you know, it would take place at, we would get done, you know, probably midnight. And while, you know, 99% of the time I would be fine with that, I've got stuff I need to do in the morning, so. I know, right? This is COVID. You're not supposed to have plans. No, I have an interview, so I can hopefully get a full-time job again. Well, you're the one buying a house. I wouldn't call me Mr. Impressive. What the? I mean, I guess it depends on where you're, you know, where you're buying it. Like, 230 in Michigan in some places could get you a lot. I mean, you can still find houses around Grand Rapids for like 180. And they have, you know, you can either be in the city for that or you can be in a burb. You can, you know, there are options at that price range. Because the one thing you have to remember, right, is Grand Rapids and West Michigan as a whole is still a very Dutch community. Like, so yes, people can afford it, but people don't want to spend it. Like, you know, the U.S. had a problem after the Depression because you had Depression babies that whose families were scorned by the banks. So, you know, they didn't put their money in the banks or spend it at all, right? Like, you know, there were some serious issues there. And you know, then you add on top of that the Dutch who just, I mean, you're more likely to get a Dutch person to curse you out than you are to have them spend $5. So, I'm trying, I've got a ghast I'm dealing with right now. That might actually help you find me. If you see the ghast hurling fire charges. Okay, so let me give you some landmarks. I see what can only be described as the 9/11 memorial out of lava. And then yeah, I've got this ghast that's... Yeah. And then it looks like there's a singular one. I'm in the mushrooms. So, no, there's not a singular. I see a lot of zombie pigmen. It looks like lava pigmen. The magma cubes. They've disappeared. I can't see them. There's, I guess, a singular pigman. I thought there were more. Let's see. Don't need a bow. Let's just bind it. Alright, I'm no longer in the mushrooms. I mean, the problem is I don't know, like, where this biome goes. You know what I mean? Like, do I need to go one way, or because I'm kind of like, I'm at the what can only be described as a peninsula in the mushrooms. So yeah, I'm standing under a glowstone right now. Oh, here's a boar and some of those pig people. Not zombie pigmen, but pig people. Alright, I see a bunch of skeletons and a pig dude. Not a pigman, not a zombie pigman, but like the... Yeah. I'm gonna try and sneak around. I'm not doing great on health, and I don't know how my armor's doing. My armor's almost gone. Let's see. Alright, I appear to be like in a valley, so I'll climb up. No, there are a ton of storylines for this year's Daytona 500, which is nice. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, it's it's the first race of the year, so there's a lot of storylines for like, oh, anybody that's moved teams or anybody that's maybe had an off year last year or somebody that had a great year, kind of unexpectedly. So there's always those storylines. But now with, Michael Jordan's team, with kind of some of the other people that are involved this year that weren't previously, there's some big storylines. Okay, I am at the edge of the mushroom biome. I don't know what it's called. We're calling them the mushrooms though. And the problem appears to be that I need to dig through. And only have... Oh, I take that back. What's this? You're still... Are you still in the nether or are you out? Oh, that doesn't help me a ton. Also, baked... Oh, you're dead. Baked potatoes aren't any better than cooked meat. Like... Well, that's a good thing. I see a bunch of those pig dudes. So... Let's see. Now I got a boar chasing me. So zombie pigman, he's cool with me. Let's see, what the hell? Who shot me? Who shot me? Oh, you shot me. Terrible singer. Yeah, she just wanted you to shut up. No, I'm not shit. You know what would be nice is if when you killed the pig people, it dropped pig meat. I mean, when you kill the boars, I think you get 4 pig meat out of it. Alright, I'm standing right next to the 9/11 memorial. Well, but if you can, what I'm kind of getting at is if you can find that. I mean, it's 2 lava shafts coming from the ceiling. Lava. There's 2, and then there's like 1 kind of in the same vicinity, but yeah, to me, it's like the 9/11 memorial is directly in front of me, and then that one's away. It's behind it. I'm probably 10 blocks from it. Well, I'm looking at the memorial, so I don't. Unless you pop out from the. Well, pull up the stream. You can see exactly where I'm at. I mean, did we ever say we were in this for realism? Then we're definitely not at the same thing. Yeah, let me. The solo one looks like it's at an island. Well, I'm gonna attempt to make my way back to the fortress. That was a clincher. That was a death drop for sure. You know what I got in my video recommendations though on YouTube? Speaking of singing stuff. Oh, well, I guess his internet died, so he's not gonna get to know. There you are. Ooh. Don't know if I can make that fall though. But no, what I was saying before you dropped was, you know what I got in my video recommendations on YouTube? Speaking about especially kids singing, apparently there's The Voice Kids, which I didn't know about. I barely follow The Voice anymore. I kind of fell off of the whole singing competition shows anyway, because they kind of got a little too, they started just getting, I mean, you could tell who they wanted to win, basically. And I was like, yeah, not about that. But yeah, it was, oh shit, my helmet broke. I definitely need to find home. Well, what I'm worried about is my helmet just broke, which means the rest of my armor is about to break. It would have been smart though to bring in obsidian and I could make another portal. I mean, have fun, because I think it's, even with diamond, it's like 30 or 40 seconds. And I think by hand it's like 10 minutes or something like that. I do it with diamond. Sounds like an 80s telecom commercial. Focused at businesses, like, I do it with diamond. Well, that's what you do. You save a ton of money. Alright, I'm getting bullied by skellies right now. I need to eat my baked potatoes. My inventory is full of bows. Like, that is a serious problem that I have right now. Apparently have 64 torches. I'm wondering why I have them more than anything. Alright, come here, idiot. I guess if push came to shove, I could make gold armor. Because I think I have enough resources to make a crafting table. And then because I'm getting gold nuggets, I don't have to smelt them. I can just make them into ingots and then... Alright, I'm at the fortress. Not that that helps you any, but... I also still have 3 ladders. I have 53 magma blocks. No, the map doesn't really work in the nether, so I put it in the... I put it in the chest. You should be able to see me on it. Well, I'm dead. I just drowned in lava. There's no saving me. There goes all my stuff. Well, I'm back to square one. I guess the good news is I only lost a diamond sword, really. Like, that's the one thing. Well, it's definitely been the hell spot, I'll tell you what. Oh, that sucked. We need to go hunting for diamonds, though. Because I just lost 3 of them. Oh, you know what we can do? We talked about it Saturday. We can, where was it? That place where, when we were looking for, lava. No. That place that I almost drowned in. And I said there were a bunch of resources. Yeah. Cool. So, I'm gonna go back with Oh, before you do, how much sand do we have in there? Can you bring it to me and like drop it? Because then I'll just use sand to clear up the water. As long as you're still alive, that's all that matters. I don't think that'll work. The sand will definitely work. Okay. Well, I don't really need the magma blocks, but they might work as oxygen sources. I wish we had a what are they called? The underwater temples. Because then we could, they have sponge in those, I know. Okay, that's what we need to go. Ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk. Did we, what? Okay. Alright, why was this random torch here? Mikhail Gorbachev, are you back? Okay, that spot that we marked with the ladder in the water, it just, like, I keep finding random torches. Where did we come up from? Because, like, I'm running into dirt now, but yeah, and I dug around and okay, I'm finding more open spaces. Okay, there's a torch. There's a redstone. Okay. Oh man, I got rid of, or I didn't get rid of, I lost all of my ladders that I made. Trying to remember though. So there's the redstone. Here it is. Okay. You know what would really been nice is some wood so I could make ladders to get up. I know. I realize that now. They don't even do a good job of that. I think the problem I'm gonna run into is I'm pretty sure this is like it's sourced, right? It's like it's in the sea or whatever, so there's lava. That's actually a good sign. Guess I'm gonna waste my iron pickaxe here to dig through some cobble. I got gravel. So far, no water. That's lava. Alright, so that's a lava pool. It's our random gravel. I'm trying to remember where some of this stuff was. It's been a couple days. Well, you gotta beat them 10 times. Otherwise, you're not a true gamer. Oh, well, that's just inconvenient. Oh, I mined away a stone and all of a sudden just a ton of gravel fell down. Oh, I want to swim fast, but I want to swim fast in the direction that I need to go. Problem is, it is a 1x1 hole. Let's try and even the odds up a little bit. Yeah, ideally we get some diamond, which I remember seeing. Um, Alright, there's lapis. Yeah, there's a ton of water sources in here is the problem. I got that one a little close. 2 hearts. Well, so the good news is I think I blocked off like the main. Yeah, so any progress that I make is going to be forward progress, not progress that's being, hindered by like the just opening to the sea. And the nice part is with sand is you kind of just put one wherever and then it falls into place. Well, it's a giant cave. I think I can find things to. Yeah. I will say, I'm gonna be genuinely curious. Like, what is. Oh boy. What is, the kind of genre of 21, right? Like, 2020 was very much a year for these roguelites, if you will. Like, yeah, but I feel like I think it's more of the names behind it is what considered a AAA, not. Well, again, it was the names, right? It wasn't like Greg Kasavin. He, no matter what project he's involved in, kind of his history in the industry. Yeah, but the stories would take a hit because Greg was he is he's the writer at Supergiant. Like, yeah, that kind of self sufficiency level that. I think it was more of an insurance policy, like. Because I mean, you could have taken an educated bet and been like, okay, these guys are gonna be successful. Like, again, then, I mean, at that point, like, Kasavin was with them, so. Well, but more of like they at least had a name, right? Like, you had Greg Kasavin, the man who. No, I mean he, you know, reading up on him, like he definitely doesn't consider himself to be a founder. Yeah, but you know, people outside of the know, I mean, it wouldn't be wrong to say, yeah, it's an educated guess. Like, cause his name's a lot like Gersman's, where it kind of transcends. It transcended games like 10 years ago. I mean, they've both like Kasavin's definitely still does, but um, Gersman's just because he doesn't do the, you know, media bullshit anymore. So, which is funny because like, you know, he was on German TV talking about Cyberpunk. Like, this is this is the same guy that was showing Diane Sawyer how to play a Sega. Like, and wearing a baseball jersey doing it. Like, it is funny to me though, like kind of seeing the trends in streetwear that have. Well, no, like the current trends in streetwear are stuff that like he was just doing. And I mean, I think he would even admit it that he's not a fashion guy. Like, he doesn't care. You know, he just like his when he talks about his collection of World Baseball Classic jerseys. He goes, I just have them because I like them. Like, there's no ulterior motive of wanting to, um, make a fashion statement or anything like that. He's just like, I like the look of the Cuba one, so I bought it. And I'm like, that's exactly the, you know, people try too hard. Like, whoa. Um, especially, especially in the past like 5 years, people have just been trying way too hard. And I mean, let's be realistic, right? Like, Instagram and kind of the influencer lifestyle hasn't helped one bit. Getting somewhere. Slowly but surely. Could really use the stack of torches that I had in the nether that swam in lava with me. Oh, looks like I got the sources there. That sounds, that's good. and there's the... Dude, that thunder sounds like it's right above me. Oh, you know what I could use? I could use a door. Yeah. Yeah, if I remember right, and maybe they've gotten rid of it, but you can make a door and it'll block the water. I wonder, can you... Alright, I need a pressure plate though. I guess I'm making an iron one. Because that's all that I have. I used all my iron on this, so let's hope it works. There's a bunch of coal. I don't know that we need coal right now, but there's a bunch of it. Some lapis and iron. I'm just looking over at the stream, and the gamma on the stream is such that you definitely can't tell what I'm looking at. I can barely see what I'm looking at. Okay, so the magma blocks, they hurt you, but they do fill up your air. Yeah. Alright, I got 2 more diamond. Well, ideally I get 3 to replace the... Well, I guess I only lost 2 because I just lost a sword. I didn't make a pickaxe. Oh boy. I'm out of food. Running low on air. Alright, made it out. Okay. Been going about 15 minutes. What do you mean? Oh, that was from when I emptied the water out of the stairs. I just kind of slapped it all around. Gave it a big old meaty slap. I'll tell you what though, dude, if we ever need redstone, here, We could be selling redstone. Well, I know some of the villagers will take it. And then we can use the emeralds with our trapped trader. I mean, he's not doing anything, so. And I also have 1, 2, 3, 4.5 stacks. I'm taking the long way out because then it's just easier. I found it faster. Oh darn, I need to go up. Let me use some of this sand. I now see your name tag, so I know I'm getting semi-close to the surface. So there's definitely a lot more down in that area. We just need to figure out how we want to tackle it. If we want to look for sponge potentially and kind of clear it out that way. I mean, that would be. I mean, once we can find sponge, right? That's going to be the most efficient way to do it. Or you and I just go down there with a bunch of sand and start blocking off walls and that. So. There's that. I'm having here. Doit. Alright. Yeah. I mean, we got 9 minutes, but we can cut a little early, and I guess on Saturday if we hop on again. We can start looking for underwater temple, I believe is what it's called. So. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. Oh yeah, it's Valentine's weekend. Oh man, a lot of siblings and cousins are about to have a good time. Well, you got Valentine's Day and the Daytona 500. So yeah, I guess we're gonna look for sponge, and so that means we're making boats on Saturday and just running around the water. So I'm shaving on top of a hill in a rainstorm, and we'll see if I end up dying. And out of Minecraft, I need to make a hotkey to end the stream. Goodbye. No, not start recording. I want to stop streaming.